Hey you guys, welcome back. So I put this together the other day and the wife liked it so much that she decided that I had to do the back wall of the garage in the same thing. Well, in doing that, I decided that I wanted to go ahead and put one of these shelves on there. The exact same thing I did here, except I'm gonna do it like 8 by 14. And I was lucky enough to get my hands on some scrap through a guy on Facebook Marketplace. So what I'm gonna do with this scrap is I got a 2 by 8 by a little over 8 right here. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna rip it down in half so I can have a backer to mount to the wall. And then I'm gonna cut what I need out of the rest of it and make some pocket holes and things like that. And kind of run through the process of getting this shelf put up and made. So I hope you guys like what I got going. And maybe you learned something about how to make a shelf out of nothing. So let's get started. All right, so right here, let's see what we got. About 7 1/4. Just gonna go 3 and 5. 3 and 5. Right at it. And just to be clear, we'll turn it around and double check us. Mark it 3 and 5 again. All right. So let's get this board moved over here so we can get our saw set and get it started ripped down. Just a little bit above that board. There we go. I'll put it right on 3 and 5 in the middle of it. That'd be good. All right. Just a hair over. Now, I know a lot of people use their little measuring thing over here. Man, I like to be right on. I like to use my tape measure and put it right on the saw blade. I've done that my whole life. I mean, it can be $1 million saw, it can be a cheap saw like this. It doesn't matter, I'm always gonna put the tape measure on the blade. So that's just me, my preference. You do it how you want. I don't know why, I just know that it's gonna be accurate. Hey buddy, I'm gonna turn this saw on. Yep. Something I am going to do is I'm going to pull this board up and then I'm going to come around and I'm going to cut it the other way. So it's already split down the middle. Alright. I got a couple 2 by 4s. That works. Good enough for me. We'll wait for our saw blade to stop. We'll go ahead and lower it back down. So again, we're not building $1 million furniture, we're just building a shelf in the shop, okay? So I did say we're doing 8 by 14. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna make sure first this board is 8 foot long. Let's see which one looks better here to put on the backer. I think we will go with this one. Let's make sure it's 8 foot. Boy, it is right there. All right, the rest of these, so to make a 14, we're gonna burn 3 inches, an 1.5 inch each 2 by. We're gonna burn 3 inches, so we're gonna cut a couple 11-inch boards off these. That way we got some cross braces. Ooh, let's get a knot right there. Let's start at the other end. Let's get this one cut first. We'll start at the other end. All right, let's cut this one to 8 real quick, and then we'll go to that one. backer. Set it to the side. We'll flip this one around. And get us some 11-inch braces cut. One thing cool about the miter saw is once you got one cut, you can take the other one over here and then you can just kind of push it through like that. You can bring your saw down and bump it up to it. Push your board in. And now take your piece away and you got the same cut right there. Just like that. Alright, and just keep going until you got as many as you need. Alright, now we got those cut. What we're going to do is I'm going to walk over here real quick and I'm going to grab my Kreg Jig. And we're going to put some pocket holes in the end so we can attach them to the backer here in a minute. Be right back. Alright, so I brought you over here to the table because this right here, this tool, now it's not like the best one on the market, but this one will do. This is a must-have tool for any kind of woodworker that's doing anything with shelving, cabinetry, I mean, you name it. If you're doing frames for pictures, anything where you don't want to see screws or you're mounting something flush to something, like this tool right here is must. All right, they're not very expensive. I can shoot a link on my description for Amazon where you can pick one up. I mean, and they make knockoffs all day long, but I like name brand, so that's one thing I will do. So first thing here, if you look, there's little arrows and you want to put the arrow to the thickness of the wood that you're using. So we're going to move this down to 1.5 inches right there so you can see it. All right, so now we got it to 1.5 inches. And then also you got to get this C-clamp which clips on here. Just like that. And if you look inside this box right here, hold it up here, it's got some measurements. Let me take the drill bit out for you. It's got some measurements in here, and this is how you use your guide, okay? You take it, you push your drill bit all the way in the hole right there where it's flush, and then this is where you set your depth to your drill bit. You use this little Allen key right here, set your depth to the thickness of wood. So those are a couple important things that you want to do to be able to use this thing accurately. So I'm going to go ahead and drill some pocket holes in all this wood so we can get them mounted to our header here in just a minute. And with the magic of videotape, we'll get this done pretty quick for you. There you have it, a couple pocket holes ready to go. All right, so now that I'm on my last one, I'm gonna slow it down a little bit. Now I want you to pay attention when I go in right here. I'm gonna drill in a little bit and then I want to pull it out, get some of that dust out of it. Just to keep the hole nice and clean. Keep them heating your bit up. All right, and that's the Kreg Jig. I'm gonna leave this out on the table here because here in a minute we're gonna have to cut the braces and do the same thing. So one more board to cut. So I'm gonna put a 2x6 as the front brace on this thing. Give me just a second and we'll readjust. Oh, hey, there you are, there you are. Here we are back at the saw. Glad you're here. Got one more board to cut. Gonna cut it at 8 foot. This is the thing we're gonna put as the header. Again, using scrap wood. We're gonna cover it up with some nice pickets here in a minute to make it look just like this one. So let's get it cut and then we'll get to building. How about it? Oh, just a little piece there. All right, that's that. All right, guys, so we made it to the construction part of the video. This is where we're going to install this shelf right here on the wall. Kind of already got an idea where I want it, how high I want it. So let's get after it. This right here is where I do have one of these bad boys. I was able to acquire this thing during my deck build that we did. This thing was a lifesaver, believe it or not. I would highly recommend getting one. Can't say enough good things about this brushless 16-penny nailer. All right, so like the other one we did, kind of stuck it up here, and I know where my studs are. I'm gonna put it right to the end down there. I'm gonna look down here and it looks about right. I'm gonna make sure that I'm just under that bill. Check my ends again. Looks like I'm about where I want it. Make sure I'm up in the center. Ends one more time. And I'm gonna pop it one time. And the reason I pop it one time is because I want to check my level. But you notice it's hanging and I ain't got to mess with it. So I want to check my level and I want to make sure that we get it where we need to get it as far as level goes. Oop, too much. That's about it right there. So now I'll come down to my ends right here. I'll check that one. We're look good there. Same thing down here. Perfect. All right, and that right there is how you mount a shelf. There's your backing plate. So from there, we go to these boards that we put these pocket holes in. And me, myself, I like to take these pocket holes and I like to put these screws in them that I'm going to use. And I like to pre-drill them in there a little bit. Like this. Just kind of get them started. Not a whole lot, just enough to hold them where you want them. Like that. And then I put my ends on before I do anything else. So I'm gonna hold it where I want it and then drill it in. Perfect. You knock your bottom in just a hair, where it's nice and flush. There we go. Now you have your board ready to go. What are you doing, buddy? Huh? Did you go get him? Yeah? That's Flash. He's always in here hanging out. Huh. So. All right, let's get this other one on down here. Watch out, bud. Watch out, Bubba. Yeah. I'm gonna hold it like this, get it where I want it. Everything nice and flush. Perfect. And then, of course, you knock your bottom in just a little bit, as always. And then hold it. And boom. Now you got your ends on. So what I'm gonna do now is, I'm not gonna bore you with doing the rest of this. I'm gonna go ahead and speed it up a little bit and get this done for you. Hey, so what you'll notice is that I did cut 5 of these things. Now 4 is gonna be for here, and I'm gonna save 1 for my splicing my plywood, because I'm using scraps. I'm gonna have to splice it. So I'm gonna continue and speed it up. Yeah, buddy. You're in my way. Yeah. Watch out now. Come on. Come on. Thank you. I'm at the point where I'm gonna put this header on, so I had to recruit some help real quick to help me hold this board. So this is DIY. You guys are gonna get the meter. You ready, honey? All right, you know the drill. Nice and flush on the end. Nothing different than what we did. Let's see, we got the level right over there, so just make sure it's flush and I'll pop it once. Flush on top and side. Down, baby. Flush on the top. There you go. Flush. Top and side. Ready? Alright, hold it right there. Down just a hair on your side. Down a hair on your side. Right there, thank you. You let go. And that's it. We got the shelf up. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go over there and I'm gonna cut these braces for the ends. Yes, I did a 2x6 because I don't want any braces in the middle. Again, I discussed that earlier, that we're planning on putting a TV or something here so me and the boys can sit out here and have a beer and watch the game or have a good time. So that's the plan. Now let's get the rest of these nails in here and go from there. up with a couple screws in it. So everybody knows nails will only go so far. In case anybody's wondering why we went with a 14-inch shelf, you notice we got an attic right here and we got to be able to open it. So that's why. All right. So we'll get these cross braces, not cross braces, I'm sorry. These bottom braces right here cut. And how we do that is what you want to do is measure your distance out and your distance down, make you a mark, and then measure from there to there, and then cut you a board with a couple 45s with a long end, that measurement right there, and then that'll get your braces. All right, I got my tape. So we're measuring, let me show you real quick. Measure out. I don't think you can see me, maybe not. So we got 12 and looks like 3/8 out. So now we're gonna measure 12 and 3/8 down, which is right here. Then we're gonna take our tape and we're gonna go from there to there. Where are we measuring right at? $17 3/4. So I'm gonna go cut 2 boards, 17 3/4 to the long end with 45s on each end to make my braces for the end. Well, there you are again. So let's see if we got enough wood here. I think we got plenty. So this is that wood that we used earlier. So what we're gonna do here is we're gonna take this miter saw and move it over to 45 real quick. About right there. And then we're gonna cut the end off of it to get it there. Our first 45. So what we'll do is we'll take here and we got to measure 17 3/4 on this big end. 17 3/4. Okay. So we've already got the saw turned the correct way to make that 17 3/4 from big end to big end. So we're gonna line it up right there with our all right, so there's our first brace. And just like that, 17 3/4 from big to big. So when we take this board and do the same exact thing, we'll just flip it over, mark it 17 3/4 because we already got the 45 over here. And give her another cut, do the exact same thing we just did. Let me come back here. All right. Check our measurement. 17 3/4. Perfect, perfect. Well, guess I'll see you guys back over at the shelf. Hey, welcome back to the shelf. So, guess it's time to see if we did our job right. Look at that. Perfect fit. Let's get them screwed up. Actually, you know, I think these will probably look better with a couple pocket holes on each end. That way you don't see any screws on the ends of them. So I think I'm gonna go over here to the Kreg Jig and make that happen. You wanna meet me over at the table saw? All right, here we are, right back at the Kreg Jig. So if you look right here, we're gonna be doing this on an angle. So it's good that you go like towards the inside of the angle right there and then clamp it on. That way it gives you plenty of room to drill and not hit any of the bad spot of the wood where you're hitting dead air. See, like that right there? Had we gone any further down, we'd have probably hit dead air off the end of that piece of wood. So I'm not gonna make you suffer through watching me drill the rest of these holes. I'm gonna go ahead and speed it up and get these done for you. All right, now you can see we got all our pocket holes drilled out. One thing that I'm gonna say again is I like to start out by pre-drilling all my screws in there. So I'm gonna put those in here and I'll show them to you here in just a minute. So I'm gonna meet you back over there at the shelf and see you in just a minute. All right, welcome back to the shelf. I'm gonna get these screws drilled in here real quick before we put these up, which makes it easier to get this installed because you don't have to worry about holding screws. Okay, so let's get the first one up. Look at that fit. Wow, that looks good. Well, I don't think that's going anywhere. All right, second one going in. Perfect. twist it on me a little bit. All right. I don't think that's going anywhere either. All right, there comes the fun part. What we're gonna do is we're gonna dress it up, trim it out, and make it look fancy. So we're gonna cut these cedar pickets and trim it out, make it look nice. So I'll meet you back over there at the chop saw and kind of go from there. Hey you guys, welcome back to the saw. Okay, so we got one of these right here. It's still the same length as what we have right here. Just one of those leftovers we had from this project. What I'm gonna do here to get this done pretty quickly, because we need about 20 of them, I'm gonna turn this back to 0 real fast. And then I'm gonna set up a jig over here so I can cut these about the same length. So in order to do that, I'm gonna set this saw down. That way I can just butt this up to it and get me a board set over here like this. I'll move this in just a hair. There we go. And I'm gonna flip this doodad around over here. Well, I'm gonna move this wing out just a hair real quick. There we go. Move it out just a little more. Beautiful thing about using a miter saw is you can cut more than one board at a time. So when you set something like this up, shoot, you can cut 3, 4, whatever. Now that's just me. You do what you want, but I'm about efficiency. I like to get things done. All right, so we got it set, ready to go. I'm ready to saw back up. And I'm gonna get to cutting some of this wood. Not gonna make you, well, I'll tell you what, I'll cut a couple of them, kind of show you. I'll grab 4 of them here. Throw it up against this jig. Get it all nice and set. Now, we're just gonna do 3, that's how high it goes. So we'll get 3 going. Get it all, tap them all in there, get them all, make sure they're all up against the jig. Everything's set. And then like that, we got 3 all the same length, every one of them. So now we'll move on to the rest. Not gonna make you suffer through it. We'll go ahead and speed up and cut these. Sorry about that, guys. Camera stopped recording over there while I was cutting, so welcome back to the shelf. So I'm over here. I got all my pickets cut. Ready to dress it up, trim it out. I want to show you how to get this started. One thing that I do want to point out, it's real important, is that you take your first couple and you start right on the corner. So I'm going to put one here. Actually, I'm going to put the first one over here kind of flush to the top and the side, like that. Right there. And just pop a brad in it to hold it where it's at. That looks good. Perfect. And then put your front on. Nice and flush. Both sides. All right. And we'll make our way down the rest of the shelf. All right, run a little low. Let's toss some more brad nails in this sucker. Just about there. Don't be scared to run the machine like the machine's made to be run. All right, so this one right here, probably start at one end and work our way down. So this one, I'm gonna have to rip it down a little bit and then start on that way. So I'll get that done in just a little bit, but hey, there's the shelf. You kind of get the idea. Hope you guys like what I did, and we'll see you on the next one. How about that? Pretty nice.